Hi, I'm Joe Clark. This is the Tao of Hollywood, and this is my writing system that I use. I think the most important takeaway from today is that your writing system should be catered toward your strengths. You should be putting in the time to really discover what the system is that works for you and customize that system on a day-to-day basis through trial and error and refining it day in and day out. It's always evolving and it's never quite finished. This is a system that I've been using for about 3 years now, and it works really well for me. What works for me might not work best for you. So you can use some of these takeaways, but at the end of the day, it's up to you to find out what works for you. I've read a lot of different things on what works best for people in terms of the writing process. Some people say that you should be forcing yourself to sit at a desk day in and day out and really cultivate the discipline to be able to churn out results. I've also heard the theory that you shouldn't sit down unless you know exactly what you're going to write. Again, I don't think this is a one-size-fits-all situation. I think it's very customized to what works for you, and I think there's a hybrid to be found in there. I have a lifestyle that's catered toward writing and getting my ideas down, and that can manifest in different ways. For example, I always have a pen or a notebook or a typewriter or a laptop. I have something within reach, usually at all times during the day. Even if it's my cell phone notepad, if something comes to me and I really want to remember it and write it down, I'll get it down somehow. And that takes time to create that system where you can have something around you pretty much at all times, so that even if you're watching a movie or hanging out with friends or doing whatever, you can get your ideas down. I call this the Lego pieces system. Basically, that means is throughout the day, whatever I'm doing, I'm kind of consistently writing. And in the back of my subconscious mind, I'm constantly brewing and developing different ideas. And I can categorize my mindset so that no matter what I'm doing, if something pops up, whether it's a business venture idea, a plot line, a character name, a scene for a certain project I'm working on, I can get it down quickly. I like to carry those small notepads for smaller ideas, or if I'm going to the library or somewhere specific to write, I have a notebook and I'm handwriting it. So throughout the day, whatever the process is, to catch with those buckets the different ideas, I'm writing it down. Then in the morning, what I do is I will organize those Lego pieces and put them where they belong. So over time, I've accrued different Google Docs that are associated with different ideas. So I'll have a financial Google Doc. I'll have a log line Google Doc. I'll have Google Docs for each movie I'm working on. I have a Google Doc for different book ideas or different goals and values. I know in the back of my head that I've been building out these Google Docs for weeks and months at a time. So when I get a single strand of an idea, all I have to do is put that Lego piece toward that project. And what happens is, through time and momentum, those Google Docs start to build out and flesh out and become more of a fully realized world and a fully realized idea. And I don't really get anxious about when something's going to become official or when something is done or starts to take off. I just keep putting in those ideas, and I know that they're going to express themselves when the time is right. I'm not really approaching writing in the sense of I'm sitting down and I'm starting from beginning to end. It's much more of a marathon rather than a sprint. I'm writing these loose ideas day in and day out, and I'm plugging them into the different documents that they belong. Now, it's not a straight line, right? There's different things that can happen. And there are days when I'll just write 3 straight days towards a film script, or I'll write 3 straight days towards a different book I'm writing. You really just kind of flow with it. I don't really push and force what I'm writing toward. And this is something I've been thinking about lately is, do we get to choose what we are writing? Or do we just write whatever pops into our subconscious mind and we get it down to the page? I think it's a little bit of the chicken or the egg, and I don't really question it. More of whenever it pops into my psyche, I just get it down. I don't question it. And that's the other cool part of transferring in the morning from whatever the medium is to the Google Doc. I can vet and filter after a night's worth of sleep what I deem is a good idea or a bad idea. So sometimes I might write for a whole day and in the morning, it's not quite working out. Usually about 60 to 70% of what I'm writing throughout the day ends up somewhere in those Google Docs that I'm working on. And it's over time, it's a garden. You have these different seeds and you're starting to sprout these flowers of these different projects. And eventually some are going to grow taller than others and some are going to die off as well. And that's okay. You're not really questioning the system. It's all about finding that flow and knowing that it's the moment that you're in while you're writing. You don't have to worry so much about the attachment to each singular project. It's more the moment of the writing. I think trusting in that process, knowing that it'll lead to where you need to go, is the most important thing. I can go into separate videos about specifically writing scripts, but this is my overall system of how I foundationally write. So throughout the day, I'm catching the different ideas that are in my mind and I'm getting them on the page by whatever means necessary. Notebook, typewriter, laptop, I get it down. And in the morning, I look at those and I scrub through it and I put down the most essential ideas towards the associated idea that belongs with that strand. I love Google Docs because it's easier to organize, it's digital, you can see it right there, and you can start to see the progress from those initial seeds into what it's becoming. Now, as far as what you're writing throughout the day, it's all up to the moment. I like to put everything down that comes to my head. So whatever pops into my mind, I'm getting it down. It could be something as simple as a song that I want to listen to later, or a movie I want to watch. Or like I said, it could be a scene idea, a movie idea, a book title, a business venture. I write down business ventures that have nothing to do with movies. Because for some reason it popped in my head, I want to remember that and I want to put that down. And a lot of times that idea, that initial seed will gain momentum and then you get to follow that and it's exciting to see it potentially come into fruition. I don't worry about the larger picture because I'm trusting the process. And I've already done the written values and system within that I know that it's going to express itself without the correct way. This is the Tao of Hollywood. Let me know what else you want me to talk about. And yeah, we'll go from there. Have a good day.